Hello and welcome to another episode of the podcast you don't want to be on. Today our guest is Ziv, who created a platform for artists back in 2014. Let's listen to his story. Thanks a lot, Ziv, for being on the podcast. I appreciate that you took time out of your schedule. So let's start with your story.
I'm Ziv, so I'm the founder of Gig88. It was founded like 8 years ago, and that doesn't go well.
Okay, that's why you are here.
Yes. So back then I was a musician. I've been playing music for over 10 years. At the time, I'm founding Gig88. So Gig88 is actually a platform for performer artists. So like MC, live bands, magician, clowns, for them to upload their video to the platform so that some people that need the service can book them and view their profile, view their video directly, and book them through the platform.
This is Gig88 or
Gig88.
Okay.
Yeah. So the idea of Gig88 is supposed to be to funnel all the requests that some pubs might need performer on daily basis, some event might need different performer for occasionally events, that kind of stuff. So the idea came when when I have the capability of making tech stuff. I'm a tech background guy. So let's put all these things together into a business. Why don't we become like the biggest agency of all that? Worldwide, I can get all the performer. Well, if you want to hire someone from probably Philippines, we can get that over in Malaysia. Or if Philippines wants to hire someone from US, then probably we can do that as well. So it sounded like a good idea. It sounded like simple enough, but it's way more complicated than what
But did something of that sort existed already, or there was nothing at all?
We do have some competitor, but even the competitor are struggling.
And they were based here. It was a Malaysian startup.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some in Malaysia, some worldwide.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was basically a platform. I'm an artist, could be a producer or a singer or a band. I list myself on platform on Gig88,
Yes.
and then someone who wants to hire me for a
Then they
for a
will deal
wedding.
with you directly.
Okay. And how did you make money in that?
So initially, our idea is to work on the subscription. So that was our first business model. We will charge the performer for their membership fees.
Monthly.
So, monthly.
Okay.
And but end up it doesn't work. So we pivot into a more towards B2B, because now we have a bunch of performers. So why don't we take the agency role instead of a standalone platform? So after a while we try that. Well, the business doesn't work. No performer gonna pay us any money just to showcase their performance.
Yeah. That was my next question. That's because people, whether they get any business or not, they had to pay you.
Yeah, and
Right?
YouTube is there.
Yes.
It's the exact same
yeah,
thing.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that obviously doesn't really work well. Some express their interest because we might have prioritized listing for you to list a bit higher or recommended, but we cannot leave off those prioritized listing. What if everyone wants to be prioritized? Then no one is prioritized.
Yeah.
So obviously it doesn't work. Then we make a big pivot towards, now we have all the user. Why don't we switch to a B2B model? Like we deal with agency companies directly. If you need a performer, use our platform. We develop another back-end system
Okay.
to allow agency to access, so they can make their scheduling, their booking, and everything, contracts, everything on that side. Well, that also seems like a good business because you are in an actual business ourselves, but it's not as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it turns out this agent that we met, they're gonna come at us as, hey, are you a competitor trying to to get us on board because now you're offering the service.
Hmm.
Your business is exactly as us right now. So before we go into B2B, this platform has been very useful for agency to source performer.
Yes.
But once we move into the B2B model, now we become their competitor.
Yes. But he was right. You were
Yeah.
their competitor.
Yeah. So like, oh no, now we are in big trouble. We the first business model is not sustainable. The second business model, where we put us into either two scenario. One, people gonna think we are the competitor, and they're not gonna join us. They're not gonna use us. Why do I need you? When your open platform is there, I could just go to your website and source
Yes.
my own developer. Source my own performer. So that was the problem back then.
And in the second model, the B2B model, were you still charging the performers?
No,
Or
we give up on the performance side.
Okay.
Hey, we just take a cut in between. So
Okay.
we kind of like, hey, we approach the agency like, hey, we give you a tools to browse, to book, to manage your performer online. So we position ourselves as a tool, as an agency tool for them. Because back then they were using like normal Excel sheet. It's very hard to keep track, especially if you have so many venues and with so many time slots and different performer to pay out. So we actually take all those and put it into our tools. It's actually a benefit for them, but put it in their perspective. Well, you could do that for anyone. That means you are potentially my competitor as well.
Yes.
You are doing my job. The thing that you offer me literally did whatever I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. So that was bound to fail. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that flopped really bad, and then none of those business model works. I mean, the platform works really well. We actually enlisted performer from 14 countries, and we actually got quite a bit of requests from outside of Malaysia as well.
Okay.
So they asked us, can you help to arrange like several performers for our company dinner in somewhere in Europe? So I'm glad to do that, but without a sustainable business model, it's not gonna work. Yeah.
But when you got to that stage, even when you launched the platform for your first idea and even the second idea, were there any problems from like raising the funds? Or was it
Yeah.
investor funded or bootstrap?
We bootstrapped it.
Okay.
It's really tough. I think I have 3 other co-founders with me that time, and we went through most of the pitch ourselves. I do believe I have 30 copies of different pitch,
Okay.
and I did not manage to raise any seed fund.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How much were you raising, if you don't mind me asking?
We were raising about 500,000 ringgit Malaysia at that time.
Okay.
Just to sustain the business and hire some on-ground salesperson. It's just a go-to-market effort and a little bit more to sustain the platform cost, because we do have videos and photos.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive.
And there's hosting and all that kind of shit.
So we want to like, hey, we just need 500,000 for the next 2 years, and then to get this up and running. Well, no one invested.
But you couldn't raise. Okay.
Yeah, even we give quite high percentage, like 500,000 ringgit Malaysia for 30% that time.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very high stake. Actually, no investor would come in at that percentage, because that means they own 30% of the company. So they have a big responsibility on their shoulders, right?
Yeah, but even with that, because I that time I was on my perspective that, hey, I have enough experience. But one of my co-founder is in the industry as well. So we have 2 domain experts in the team. With that, we failed to raise fund. I think most likely the idea, the reason behind the failure of fundraising is because really the market is not really that interesting, performer market, because you deal with human. 100% of your asset are human, and 100% of your client are human. So there's no, it's human resource management is a tough business.
Yeah.
So that's why all the investors kind of get into that, and then it's like, well, how do you they throw us quite a lot of questions that literally impossible to answer. Like, how can you maintain they come on time? Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So what if they been booked and at the last minute the performer cancel the deal? So what's gonna happen? So this is very true question that we don't have a real answer for that at that time as well. And this is just one of hundreds of questions related to human behavior or performance kind of thing that prone to happen from day to day.
But you weren't, sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
but okay, to answer this question from the investor, that if they booked an artist and that artist didn't show up for the event, because you guys were not charging
The management fees.
yeah, the management fee, so you were not
Yeah.
responsible, right? It was
Yeah.
between the performer and the people who hired them.
Yes.
So you were not responsible for it, but
Yes, but that would be our liability because they book through
yeah,
our
true.
platform.
Yeah, okay.
So the brand and the platform name was on stake. Thus, it's a high risk for investor. Like, hey, something is wrong with this business model. That's I'm not interested.
So despite knowing these objections, you guys still went ahead and launched it.
We did a couple times in different approach for different investor. Well, it's all gonna come back to the same question, and then we are like, hey, fine, let's go B2B. Now we control the business.
Oh, so you launched, and in the meanwhile, you were raising funds, and when you got this objection from investors,
That's prompt us
that
into the
that got you
B2B.
thinking that, okay, investors might have a point,
Yeah.
which often they fucking don't.
But this time,
Yeah, this time that
it's
okay,
real.
okay,
Yeah.
but as if they're giving you money, they have all the rights to ask the questions, and not all of them are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I still have to raise money, so I won't be too critical on investors.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that promise into getting the B2B model. So now we are in control of the business. But before we take that to investors and try to repitch them in somewhat, we have another problem, which was the agency competitor relation kind of
Yes.
problem pops up, and that actually throws us off like, hey, this is gonna be real bad. Yeah, we will go back into the same problem again. Investor gonna ask again, like, hey, now you settle the performer part because you take control of the management. But how are you gonna compete with all these big names, like those really big names agencies?
The agency, they're
Yeah,
giants, right?
That gonna be even harder. Like, you are raising 500,000 to beat this guy. 500,000. This guy can make 500,000 in 1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One big event and it's done.
You are not going to beat them with that kind of money. But if you want to raise more money, then you need to have a solid idea that you have high confidence that you can beat that guy. So the thing is, initially when we switch off to the B2B model, we are not beating these competitors are not in our vision. We want them to onboard. We want them to be our customers. So we are in a very awkward situation where we pivot we started off with a pretty bad situation and we pivot into the worst situation.
Okay, not a good ideal thing to be in for a startup, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then that actually, like, hey, all of us sit down one day and just say, hey, this doesn't work. We need something else.
Yeah.
So
you have two major problems, right? For the main being not able to raise funds, which is your lifeline. If you don't have money, you can't run a business. And second was you had problem with plan A, that didn't work. You shifted to plan B, the pivot to B2B, even that didn't work.
Yeah, it actually become even worse.
Yeah. So okay, and this was how long? How long of duration are we talking?
About 2-3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 2-3 years. Because the first year we are so into ideating the thing, like we apply all the design thinking method. We actually did properly develop the entire thing. Yeah, the platform works marvelously and everything is working so fine. We got 2 tech background, me and my CTO that time, both are tech background, and two domain experts as well. So we are like me and another partner was in the industry for the past 10 years. So even with that, it's really, really hard to put it off. I think because of the inexperience of putting into perspective of and solve the correct problem. I think we are not actually solving the correct problem.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think performer, they do have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
In that industry around the world, because I think performer around the world has the same work procedure. The problem are there. It's just that we are solving the wrong problem, or we use the wrong approach to solve a correct problem. Yeah. So that's actually I learned a lot from Gig88 just by drilling down into the word problem itself. Then me and my founder just go ahead and say that, hey, let's evaluate this. Let's take what we learned, and then can we spin a totally new idea out of this? But we kind of like take apart Gig88 and how can we salvage this tech, and use the tech that we already have. We put a lot of time, we put a lot of technology there. By that time, like 8 years ago, we are on full cloud everything. That was like 8 years ago. So we take apart that thing and then repackage it in some way, and then we try to find some real problem. Then we create another startup, and we take that problem take that salvage technical part as a solution to solve an actual problem, and that thing went off.
Oh, that's good to know that you kind of dismantled it and reassembled it in a new thing. But that was also related to music, or
no,
something else. Okay.
That's totally another thing. So I mean, I can put a little bit insight on that. So when we were developing Gig88, we put a lot of thought into automation, right? Because we really have a lean team. We want everything to be automated. So the entire booking and management and all the data, like people has been viewing you, or people want to manage your time, and then step by step, how can they arrange you? All those things we kind of like modularize it when we were developing, because we are still testing the idea, how could it work better. Although the idea cannot sell, it doesn't work, but the mechanism itself, we can sell to enterprise as their workflow management.
Yeah, for something else, right?
Yep, with similar use case, and that actually went off.
And during the Gig88 time, I believe you were 4 of you, right? You and 3 co-founders. And were you all full-time doing this, or this was a part, you had your other jobs?
2 of us were full-time, me and my CTO that time were full-time. It was tough. Yeah.
And your role was?
My role will be, I'm helming the CEO.
So you were the CEO, and the CTO was also full-time?
Yeah.
But the other 2 co-founders, they were not?
No, they were not.
So I would assume one would be CFO?
I do have one guy from, his background was from banking, so he's been in banking for...
Yeah, so he's default CFO.
Yeah, default CFO. And then another guy who really good at talking and making connections. So that guy, I actually didn't put him in any position. So sometimes he's a business development guy, sometimes he's the marketing guy.
Do you think, now if you look back, do you think that could have been a mistake if someone who's social and good with people, if he was not at events or talking to investors, do you think if he could have brought that money in?
Probably, yeah, I think probably, because
initially it's how, that's what they say, when you're raising pre-seed money, it's the investors are investing in you.
Yeah.
It's how good of a salesman you are, how good can you sell your idea, because investors don't know what the fuck you're building. They have no idea, right? It's your idea, it's in your head. Sometimes founders can't even express 100% what. So they're investing in the founders, not in the product itself that much.
That's actually pretty true though. So I think because of that, now that you mentioned, actually I think it makes sense, yeah, because the second startup that we start, that we salvage, by default, I it's not in the plan, but I'm kind of like tired and exhausted that time. So I'm like, hey, this guy that really good in talking, you deal with outside. Okay, I'm just need to cool down and focus on building the stuff that we want to build. So then the business went up. Yeah, probably because he is the one that take turn to talk to someone else afterwards.
Okay. Now, okay, but so if you think if he was the face of the Gig88 from the beginning, do you think you could have made it, or you think it was the idea was shit, or the business model was shit,
I think
or it's a combination of everything?
I think it's a combination of everything. Yeah. Uh, the reason why that time I'm doing the CEO thing is because I have quite a bit of influence in the performance market. So a lot of performers actually know me. That gonna prompt easier for me to get on board
Yes.
the performer, which is our asset in
Yeah.
the first place. So, but yeah, I'm probably not best person in the company to talk to investors that time, because I would stand too much on the performer side. Like I would be like, hey, well, I need to protect the performer because they are our asset.
Also, during your pitches, you were focusing too much on the
Yeah,
the
probably.
product side.
Yeah.
But investors want to hear other things. They
Yeah,
want
they don't even care.
they don't
actually.
care.
Yeah.
Because you are there to get their money, right?
Yes.
They want to know if they're giving you 100,000.
When
When can you give them 5 million back?
Yeah.
They want it in 1 year. Not gonna fucking happen. But that's what they expect. So
True.
yeah. So I'm sure most of the questions they asked were related to that,
which well, each of the pitching, actually we all pitched together, so we were there, but it's just that something that I realized that investor won't give a shit about other people that sit beside you.
No, the one who's standing. Yeah.
You to answer. So probably that time my co-founder already have a set of strategy how to counter that, but they are not effective because the investor is like, hey, shut up, listen to this guy.
Yeah, you know what you should have done after the pitch when it was Q&A time. All four of you stand.
Yeah, that should be the way.
Because if they ask a question about product, you have the product guy. If they ask about money, the money guy is there.
Yep.
But we learn, right?
Yeah.
We learn with every pitch we do. We learn something.
Yep, definitely. I think that's a good idea as well.
Yeah.
And that's what happened on my second startup. This kind of thing actually happened because the first one, I'm taking so much power of myself, and then I'm like, I think I have quite a bit of ego that time as well. And then I'm like, hey, you guys have no idea how performer work. Let me deal with this shit, and then I'm doing everything. But end up, probably I'm wrong. So second time over, I think by default I'm tired, so I'm just like, hey, CFO, you deal with the money thing, and marketing guy, you go deal business development, you go deal with the business side of the thing, you go bring in business. As long as you bring in business, I don't care anything. I just focus on building the stuff, and we are selling this one product. So I'm just purely focused on the product. So I'm still the CEO, but very back, like that time I'm like very introvert kind of thing. Like I don't deal with things outside. I let the two other co-founders do, and things actually went pretty well that way. Instead of the first one that I go everything, build me. Product, me. Deal with assets, me. Deal with investor, me. Selling, me.
So then there were that means they were a solo founder, not co-founders. If you're doing everything.
I'm glad they're still with me all this time. Actually, until today, and as I will have a new project coming out as well. So they're all here.
Oh, that's good. If you after something, an idea which didn't fail, I'm sure there were a lot of arguments, a lot of fights. And you're still friends. That's a good thing.
And I really appreciate this team. They are really good at what they are doing, especially when we learn so much together, and then we've been through everything together, and now we really can put all those things that we learned into a place. Yeah, probably we will spend like less than half of the effort and achieve more than 100% of compared to last time.
But that's how we evolve, we learn. So when during the time when you were trying to raise funds and you couldn't, you didn't consider getting grants, or the grants didn't exist at the time, because this was a long time ago, right?
We do have that time. There are several grants there, but those grants are very small amount that it wouldn't be able to help us on anything.
Okay.
Yeah, you are talking about probably like maybe 100,000. Yeah, it just enough for us probably just to last maybe less than a year. Then it will be gone. Yeah.
But still, it's something, right? But
Yeah.
do you regret it now, not getting those grants?
No, actually no.
Okay.
Yeah. So why I don't
Why?
regret of getting those grants? I think the main reason is with those grants, I think you won't be speaking to me today.
Okay.
Yeah, we might not be able to learn so much thing, and I think I'm still making a lot of mistakes today.
If you got that grant.
Yes,
Okay.
because it will get us. You see, I I I was in the ego mood that time. If I managed to get the grant, it boosts the ego even further. Hey, now I'm good at this already.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, I'm a Superman now. Okay.
As I
And
always,
that will put me into a really, really, really bad spot, and I probably will never get anything out of it. Yeah. Rather than I don't get the grant, the failure comes slap me in the face,
yeah.
and I learn.
One thing I always say, I think people I know might be sick of me saying that. And the thing I say always is, for the problem with us founders is there's a fine line between being optimistic and being stupid.
Yeah.
A lot of founders don't realize when they have crossed that line to be on the stupid side, which a lot
Yeah.
of us do end up, but still our stupid head says, no, I can make it work. It's not a problem. This product will solve all the problems in the world. But we don't realize that we crossed that. We are in the stupidity zone. We
Yeah.
crossed that line a long time ago.
I think that you will not. Nobody born with the capability
Yeah.
of seeing where the line is.
Especially first-time founders, because and I don't know, maybe younger ones that maybe more towards the egoistic side. They think no, because I know I can make it work. It's something. Yeah, I think you learn only after you fucked up majorly.
Yeah, yeah. I do have a short story about how we can judge the opportunity and the stupidity line in between. So this is a story. It's a short one that I really hope that people, after really understand this story, can see the line a little bit more clearly. So it's a story of spoon and fork. So human beings started eating with hand. Okay, now we have one problem. When we want to drink a hot soup, we can't drink it with hand. It's literally impossible.
Yeah.
So someone smart enough to invent something called a spoon. Did the spoon solve an actual problem? Yes. Now you have no choice. If you want to drink a soup, there's 100% chance that maybe 80% chance you're gonna need a spoon, or you drink it straight from the bowl. But most likely, if you want to be polite, you need a spoon. Spoon actually solve a real problem. Hot food, you need a spoon. Then, okay, now all the user has been educated. We can use tool to eat something. That's a good solution. Then here comes spaghetti. Spoon, hot spaghetti. Spaghetti is hot. You can't eat it with your hand as well. So it's really hot. Spoon, well, won't do any good. Now some genius come invent a fork. Does the fork solve the problem or not? Yes, 80% of the time you deal with a very hot spaghetti, you will need a fork. Right. So that's where the line is. And some genius think that, hey, probably a spork will be a good idea where I combine a fork and a spoon, put it together. It's a genius idea. No, that actually crossed the line already because you see, spaghetti and soup problem has been solved. You are trying to come up with a product, trying to find a brand new problem where it probably not exists or there are so many alternatives. I can almost guarantee in any situation that I need a spork, I can do it with a spoon and a fork.
Which you have both.
Yes. So I think that's the line where it actually crossed into. I'm not talking about people that invented the spork is stupid, but that is one of a very good example that you created something looking for a problem, which that particular problem can be solved with existing tool.
So my question for this story is, now where do chopsticks fit in this story?
It's an alternative to a fork. So,
Yeah, true. Yeah.
but fork still takes 50% of the market share.
Yeah. Half of the foods we eat with a spoon, right? Or with the fork.
A fork, yeah. And then the other half probably might be chopsticks.
Yes. Yeah, true. If you think about it, if it's not for the soup, you can eat most of the food with fork,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Even rice you can eat with
Yeah,
fork.
absolutely.
You don't need a spoon.
Yeah.
Unless it's liquid or semi-liquid.
That's why
Yeah.
the origin of the problem is very important. You see, the spoon, as I mentioned in this scenario, is meant to solve the hot soup problem.
Yeah.
So that's why identify the problem and solve it correctly is important. While the spork scenario is another issue where someone decide to combine it and try to find in what scenario do we need a spork. Well, I can tell you probably no scenario. Yeah.
So now you said when it wasn't working for 2 years, do you remember the day, the time when you guys sat down and said, fuck it, we are done?
Yeah, I do remember it clearly that especially for me and my CTO, it was a mental torture for the entire time because you see, we came from me and my CTO came from fairly poor family, and then we don't have a fixed job that time, and then we are so dedicated every day work on that. Imagine, what are we eating?
Yeah.
We literally live off like maybe 1,000 ringgit per month.
Wow.
It's really tough. We don't even dare to turn on the aircon.
Okay. And so when the day you guys decided we are shutting this down, next morning
we're starting the new one.
So you didn't wait, you didn't.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No. So
because there was no other option, right?
I do need the money. Everyone need the money, and because we invested so much. So we don't really shut off Gig88 officially. Like, hey, we don't say that tomorrow we're gonna shut this off. No. Gig88 still can be there while we try to make money out of the salvage. Then we split our focus, and Gig88 is just dormant out of the existence.
Okay. And that thing is still up and running, working, bringing money in?
No. Actually, I believe at that time, everyone is so fed up with this idea. So me alone, and I talked to some other partner like outside of this. Hey, do we want to turn this Gig88? Because Gig88 is an online platform, so it's just a website. How about we turn this into an app?
Okay.
So me and another team, meantime, I'm working on this new idea with the company, and we actually, before we even start the company, we got a huge contract from a big name corporate, like really big name, that want to use the thing that we salvage.
Wow, okay.
So that's why it's safe already for that side.
Because you already had that client lined
the
up.
contract is there. Even the contract come, hey, the procurement calls, what is your company name? You give me 3 days. I need to set up my company. So we don't even have a company name that time. So that part is pretty much done. So we sit down, and then one day we just so tired, we just sit down. Can we salvage this and sell it to a corporate? Yes, can. Try to pitch a corporate. We just go pitch the corporate, get the deal. Okay, money coming in. Okay, this just have someone work on it. We hire someone. Then just work on it, and it just go all the way until today.
Okay.
Then the other part, the remaining of the Gig88, of course, it go dormant. Then I talked to another team, another investor. Then this is not an investor, but it's more like a joint venture with some of the big agency. We made it an app and then get it run, and then it's sold off to China as another brand.
And this one was music related or
Yeah,
similar
it's
to what
exactly the same thing.
what you were doing earlier, but instead of platform, it was an app on the phone.
Yeah, it works actually way better as an app rather than a website. So I don't know what's going on, because that time when we turned into an app, and from the time we successfully migrate everything into an app and sell over to a China company, the entire platform, including the infra and including the brand as well, we sign off. We cannot use this brand in Malaysia anymore. The entire handover to an agency in China is less than a year.
So you sold the product to China.
I just straight away like, hey, I salvaged the thing, and yeah, just take it, because the engine we already making money for the corporate side. So that means it's not ending really bad. The salvage actually makes us like, at least whatever I sold to the China, it breaks even all the efforts.
Okay.
And meanwhile, the salvage side, the corporate side is actually making real profit. Yeah. So it's the end story of Gig88, the very, very end is actually not as bad, but Gig88 as an entity alone is just fade out.
But the journey, as you said, the journey from starting for the inception of the idea, execution, making the product, trying to sell, trying to raise money, didn't work, pivot didn't work. So that journey was very painful for you guys, especially for you and your CTO. Your CTO, yeah.
We both mentally tortured. Yeah, imagine that. I mean, I don't really mind say how it works right now. So imagine I'm living at a very small apartment. Me and my CTO, it's just two of us and my dog. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just three of us.
Did dog play any part? Was he?
No, it's just playing the noisy part, keep annoying. So
keeping you guys sane.
Yeah. So we were in a scenario where we cannot turn on aircon, we cannot afford lunch. I'm not even wearing a shirt when we were working. I'm just a short pants. For entire year, we were doing that. It's hot, it's damp, and it is mentally tortured to the maximum level. Yeah.
And you still, yet you continued for months to.
Yeah. Because we really believe that thing. That's the dangerous part of a founder. Yeah. The tar pit.
Yes.
Of the internal tar pit, like you really, really, really believe into the idea, where the idea showed very obvious sign it doesn't work, but you still go into it. That's a very, very dangerous thing.
Yeah.
If you didn't get out of the tar pit, like I'm lucky that I have all other people that, hey, stop this. We need to take this and sell to the corporate. It's a good engine.
Yeah.
We can find a good scenario in some corporate. We can use it. If no one tells me about it, I'm going to be a deep problem. Probably I'll go insane.
Yeah.
If keep on torturing like that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you, let's say, if you did raise the money you were asking for at the time,
yeah,
do you think Gig88 would still be alive today of what it was, or not really? Because
I don't think so.
Because of the flawed business model.
Yeah. I think we are not solving any problem.
Yeah, problem didn't exist.
Yeah. It's just shift the problem from manual to online, because the problem is not the operation side or the convenience side. It's just the human side. You cannot solve human problem. Yeah. So for example, right now a lot of pubs or venues, they will complain like, I don't want to use this agent because his performer always don't come or come late or this and that. If I take this and put it in Gig88, I take over the agency. Will my performer do the same thing? Well, yes.
Yeah, of course. If he's coming late, it doesn't matter where he's coming from. He will come
so
late.
We are not actually solving a problem. We are just trying to replace the agency. Thus, there's no problem there.
Okay. It took 2 years to realize that.
Yeah.
And a lot of tears and sweat and literally sweat.
Yeah, literally sweat. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. And you still came out of it in one piece.
Yeah. So that's why I think it's a good lesson. It's a good mental torture, but don't really encourage yourself to go into that. It's really bad. But for me, I think it's really good thing that now if any problem that come to me, the problem might be very tough for some people, but for me it's just another Tuesday. Yeah, because I've been 1 year sticking in that scenario, shirtless, sweating, and deal with all these problems every single day.
Yeah. So you've seen the worst, so nothing can beat that, and I hope it
Yeah.
never comes to that. Touch wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great, great. And so Gig88 was a long time ago,
Yeah.
right? And what's happened since then? Because a lot of, not a lot, a few emails that I got and messages, people think that the founders who come on the podcast, that they fucked up that startup whenever it was, and that's it. They're not doing anything. They're bums. So that's something I want to make clear, that that was a part of their experience, one experience.
Yes.
This doesn't mean you're shit, you're a failure. Shit happens. You just move on. It's normal. So now, so that this is why I want to, from this podcast onwards, I also want to talk about what happened since then.
Okay, so as you know, just now as I thought, we salvaged the thing, we sell the company. So it's turned out pretty good. So and then my mental become more healthier, since there's a solid income coming. It's not rich. I mean, it won't make you rich. It's just a normal standard
It's
software
putting
development house.
food on the table.
Yeah, but it puts food on the table. It makes everyone slightly relax a bit. Then I went on to start my family. Well, another startup called Family.
Oh, okay.
Called Family, and I had a daughter
Okay.
afterwards. So I just tell my partner, hey, I need to stop taking risks, because now I have a family.
Yes.
I have a daughter.
Mouths to feed. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to stop taking risks already. Then I just sold off the rest of my share to both of. Actually, during the pivot, my CTO left already, so he left the group, and then he just go pursue his normal day-to-day job up until today. So for me, no long afterward, and then I'm like, hey, I tell them, I got mouth to feed, I got a real responsibility. Right? I mean, the business side is a real responsibility, but this one is another real responsibility, very important. I want to focus on. Then I sell my share to both of them, and they are still running it until today. In fact, the next thing I'm gonna come up will actually JV with the company they are running, which I'm the founder.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm out of the company already.
Okay, but
So
it's a new entity altogether, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Not, okay.
Yeah. So because it's unfair for me to suddenly out of, like, after 5 years go back to them and tell them, hey, I want to join back this company. What the hell is this guy?
Because you have sold your shares.
Yeah. So I think we are on the very good terms as well. So we start a JV afterwards. So what happened in between was I started my family, and then I just stopped all the startup activity. I just straight away disappear from the startup community altogether. But actually, I'm not doing nothing. I take all this skill that I learned, I went to those small startups, and then I helped them to build product. Well, in fact, I joined 3 different companies at this time, and all these 3 companies struggle in development. Like, they've been developed a certain product for maybe a year or a year and a half, or maybe like more than 3 years. The product just cannot go to market. They can't even finish development. I'm just step in, and then give me 6 months. I understand the business model. I understand the company direction. I set up the team. I rebuild the entire thing from the ground. Now go to market. So that's how I help all this. After that, I have a family, because it's just salary based. So I'm just go in, and even go in, I tell them, give me a very low position, but you know who I am. Just give me a very low position. I'm in the team. I help you to build this thing, go to market. You can launch this thing in 6 months or maybe 9 months.
And did you take any shares from those companies?
No. I don't want anything of it.
Okay.
I just want a fixed salary. I'm glad that my lesson from my startup can help you to kickstart your project so fast. And that's all I want. I just want a stable life. Okay, then after all this thing, all of them got their product apps, regardless apps or website, but mostly apps. Go to market, and one of them actually is really, really good. Yeah.
Oh, so
Two of them actually.
So
Yeah.
they have to thank you for that.
No,
No?
I don't want to take the credit, and whatever is a team effort, I believe. Yeah, I don't like to take credit.
But you did
myself.
help them. Kickstart.
My responsibility is help them to build the team. It's the team that produced the
Yes,
product.
yes, and sustain it till now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's, I'm glad that two of them actually went really successful, and then but along the way there are some mistakes that these founders actually made that actually correlates to what I already experienced. But because this is their company, I cannot take a knife and tell them, don't do this. This is a pothole. You're gonna fall into it. Yeah. So I mean, they are here and there, but it's not really serious problem. It's just that it brings me back into that trauma that I can't deal with it. Like, hey, I know what's gonna happen if you make this decision, and thus I kind of like. And now my daughter is 5 years old already, so she can pretty much live on her own, and then she start going to school. So I'm like, hey, it's time for me to get back into the startup game. That's why after June I will have something coming up.
Okay, so now you're back in business. How?
Yes, with all the torture and experience,
which is very good. You need this pains. You need to go through suffering to learn. Otherwise, if you're living very comfortably in a bubble, you will not learn fuck all. That's my experience. Okay, good that you welcome back in the startup world. Okay, so now what difference do you see? Because Gig88 was a long time ago, 2016, right?
Yeah, actually way before that. Like, I think we started the development 2014 until 2014, 2015. 2016 is the time where we start to get active.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are talking about 8 to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's a long time. In technology has been changed a lot. 10 years ago, it was a different world. What difference do you see in the startup environment?
I think most of the problem that we thought we want to solve nowadays has been solved. Yeah, there's no problem left for us to solve. So anything that you thought of, you think wow, I'm so smart that I can think of this idea. No, someone
else is doing it. Yeah.
Already doing it. It's just that you need to do more research. Yeah. So I think it's a different era right now. There's no new idea era, no more. Yeah, that was 10 years ago. A lot of crazy idea, unicorn idea, wizardry kind of idea came out. Yeah, it was good that time, booming, everything. But everything has been proven. If failed then, it's not going to be success now. Yeah. So everything that's success then is still successing now. Yeah. So most of the problem, I do believe, already being solved, at least at the first layer of the problem. Now is the era of how can you do the exact same thing but do 10 times better than your competitor.
And how can the new founders do this?
You have to get someone with domain expert in your team. Yeah, because only domain expert will tell you exactly their pain point. For example, I'm going to work on a retail solution. It's a very boring thing. A lot of people are already doing it, but I have a good advantage that the company that I'm going to work with, the two ex-founder, during the 5-year time where I'm still helping all the startups, they actually went off and sell this kind of solution, but actually third party, like OEM, this kind of solution. And they already have a lot of customer for the solution that I'm going to work on. But previously they were OEM. Now I'm going to build for them. And they know exactly what's the problem with the OEM. So I'm going to solve all the OEM problem, as well as they already do the market research. They have in-depth market insight of that one particular product that I'm going to come out. Thus, those insights is very, very valuable, where my competitor missed out several blind spots, especially market size blind spot or market segment blind spots that I probably can take advantage of. So that's how I can do an exact same thing that other people do, but do it a little bit better. That's gonna give me a little bit slice of the cake.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah. It's like imagine Apple Watch. Yeah. Before Apple Watch exists, there are a lot of watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what makes Apple Watch stand out? Yeah. So that's the thing. You need to find a real USP, not like you are faster or you cut two process shorter. No, not this thing. Like a real actual problem.
Yeah, I mean, WeWork, as much as I don't like Adam Newman, he sold the same idea what Regis was doing for so long,
Yes.
giving out table and desk to people. You come in, you work, and you go home. But that guy made it into something else,
Yeah.
40 something billion valuation, but came crashing down, because.
Yeah.
But he's a good salesman.
Yeah.
That's what I come back to. He's a good salesman. He could sell his shitty idea, trying to make people think it's a tech company when you're just renting out a fucking table and a chair. But it worked for him. Even the failure of WeWork worked out for him. He walked away with $1.8 billion.
Yeah, actually, that kind of trade is really, really a good trade for a founder because it's a good salesperson. And how he does it, I think he's not the only one doing that. In fact, a lot of people are actually doing using the similar method.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this thing used to be very manual. Now it's still manual, but I put an app on it to solve some minor detail in between, and I'm a tech company.
Yeah, and he made it sexy. He made co-working space sexy. Yeah, it's fancy. You walk in, there's beer on the tap. I mean, no other co-working space or office would do that. Yeah, and another thing which I want to get your opinion on is riding the wave. Like these days, you put anything related to AI in your startup, and investors will be like, how, whether founders have any clue about AI or not, how important or how dumb do you think this idea is to just ride the wave without knowing the product, just for the fuck of it?
Depends on perspective, I think. Okay, there are three perspectives to this. Okay, are you the investor? Are you the founder who know nothing about AI technically? Or are you a founder that know exactly what AI is technically? So there are three different perspectives. Okay. 2 out of 3 definitely is riding the wave, and only one perspective is doing the correct thing. So the founder with tech background know exactly what AI is and how it works. They know. Yeah, they know. They are not gonna put AI in a fancy way. They probably put AI in some of their product way before the AI wave coming. Trust me.
On a smaller scale, yeah.
Yeah, on a non very outspoken kind of way. So the other two perspectives, definitely is just, hey, AI is coming. Well, I'm an investor. I like AI. AI is the key. How much money you want?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you, hey, hope your AI will do good. And then the other founder is like, hey, I don't know anything technically about AI, but well, we're gonna put AI in our app, and that. So what the AI does, I don't know, but there's AI. Investor, you like AI? I got AI. You give me money.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny, in a way that. Well, but in fact, that a lot of people didn't realize that we actually use AI way before the AI wave. Yeah, but depends on how do you define AI? How do you define AI? Is ChatGPT AI? Yes, but is ChatGPT the only AI? No. Yeah, we've been using AI for so long. There's something called applied ML, so applied machine learning. That means that when physics, there are theoretical physics and applied physics, where theoretical physics is talk about, like they do experiment about things that we will never use. String theory, Big Bang, those kind of things, like what I'm not gonna see any big bang soon. So, but applied physics is talk about like momentum, how the car crash into each other, kinetic, those kind of applied AI, how they build a nuclear bomb. Those are really real life we are using. They are theoretical AI and applied AI. Applied AI has been there for so long already. Have you been to a parking? You don't have to press anything. The parking just know your car, and then you just go in. The car plate recognition is part of ML as well. I mean, it's not as deep. It's just OCR, but it's sort of AI as well.
AI was working in, as you said, has been working in the background for the longest time, because it was in the background, we didn't see it. Now, because now we can interact with it. Chat GPT being an example, like give me or solve this math solution. We couldn't do it before, so that's why everyone is AI.
Yes.
And in my opinion, a lot of founders who are just riding the wave without knowing anything, they will probably end up on this podcast, because they will they will fail because they have no idea. And so they are bound for failure.
Yeah.
So my advice would be that if you don't know, just there's no reason to ride the wave. Maybe you will be able to raise money, but how long will that last?
Yeah,
Your
because
product
it's not
will fail.
realistic.
It's not realistic.
Yeah.
And I think investors are also started to learn that now. Like, let's say 1 year ago, it was very easy to raise money.
And if you realize this pattern, if you realize you have been seeing this previously, NFT.
NFT, yeah. To be honest,
the exact same pattern. The wave come, investor jump in, founder who has no idea jump in, blah 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 blah, and then it fails, and then it just go off. It probably doing the same exact pattern, but you see, back then when NFT, there are a bunch of founders that actually know the technicality behind blockchain. They still survive until now.
Yeah.
They're still using the blockchain technology, not on Bitcoin, not on crypto, not on NFT, but they do use applied blockchain into something useful for human. Same goes to AI. So I think only that those founders that technically know their AI and put their AI in real use, not as a tool, like ChatGPT, make me an article, not as a tool, but put it, integrate into your solution or your service. Those are the founders that will survive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not just giving a chat option on your website, which is just could be anything. That is AI integrated.
Those are chatbots. It's been there since like forever. Facebook already has the chatbot feature like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but a lot of companies have integrated that. Like, I think not too long ago I read Chevrolet. They integrated chat GPT in their customer service thing, and people were throwing math equations at it. It was just giving it out. I think they've blocked that. But yes, it's the thing. You have to be careful of what you're doing. Otherwise, like NFT, for example, I never understood it. Whatever little understanding I had, I didn't agree with it. Like, you're selling me a picture which is on the computer, like, what people said, do you know, right click, save as picture, I can do that, but no, I have the original. Then people were comparing with having an original Picasso and then having a copy. I mean, those things belong on the wall, physical, not on a, like, not Michael Jordan's. NBA was selling so many these really good hoops, the shots, I don't know what you call them, and like a lot of people already have them on their phones. What's the point? And so it died.
If you manage to match this thing, like the NFT and current AI wave, both wave, you can see the pattern is exact match. For example, generative AI tools is actually NFT. AI, ML is actually blockchain. So I'm not saying that ML and AI is a bad thing. In fact, I really like them. They really would help us as developer. I mean, in tech, do a lot of things that it's gonna take us a lot of time as a developer to develop. Yeah, like for example, just OCR alone is really good. Like blockchain, yeah, there are really good use case of blockchain. But after anything after that, the next step is for blockchain is NFT or cryptocurrency. Okay, that's the second step. The second step of AI and ML is generative AI. You see,
Yeah.
the wave is same. So usually things that go viral is the second step. The
Yeah.
thing that go up and down really fast.
Yeah.
But the thing that really sustain is the fundamental technology of it. Yeah. AI, ML, blockchain, these things are amazing technology. But when you go one step, NFT, generative AI, well, maybe it's just a trend, maybe there's some use to it, but no actual practicality to it. Yeah.
These things are still too complicated for my little brain. I still can't comprehend how any of this shit works. All I know is I throw a question at ChatGPT, it gives me an answer, sometimes really shitty,
Yeah.
sometimes really good. So you just have to
Yeah.
go. Okay, so what are you up to these days? Gig88 was a long time ago. You're coming up with something
Yeah.
in
I'm
June.
coming up with, I want to start a company that do very boring thing. So I want to solve one specific problem right now that, Malaysia actually, not only Malaysia, around the world, especially Asia side, there are a lot of small business, like really micro business. They try to sell product, sell OEM product, whatever product. So the problem is most of these small businesses, like really micro business, I'm talking about bazaar seller, like maybe one kiosk in a shopping mall kind of seller, they don't really have a good inventory management system that able to help them sell the thing. I want to make a system that you will use it. Like for example, they will need a point of sale system. They will need their inventory. Those are the stuff that every business that deal with product will need. But previously they were like a tools. Now, how can I make the tool help you sell as well?
But aren't there like tons of POS solutions in the market already? Very
Yes.
cheap also?
Yes, but those POS is the tools that you need,
Okay.
but it won't help you sell, actual selling.
Okay, it's mostly towards inventory.
Yeah. So what if the POS?
Don't give out too much.
It's okay. It's okay.
Someone might steal it.
No, okay. This is another thing that I really want to talk about. Yeah, seller, a founder shouldn't be afraid of telling the idea, because idea is worthless. Execution is everything.
Of course.
Yeah. So I'm not afraid of telling. If someone do it and do it better than me, then congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes, you get the idea and you implement better than me. Well, I'm just need to hide in my hole again and think of another idea.
Yes.
Yeah, and learn why this guy can execute better than me. That's another lesson. I'm always open to that. So that's why I'm like, hey, I'm okay to give out the idea. I'm okay to talk about the idea. Is nothing wrong about it. So just a post system that affordable enough for micro seller, allow them to do omni-channel selling. Like just that one problem, because right now, if you are selling, for example, a helmet, okay, just one helmet. So for example, this is the helmet. You have 10 units of the exact same helmet. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go into your post system, because you have a store right now. You go into a post system, you key in 10 units, and then you go to probably e-commerce like Lazada, you key in 10 units. Then you go to Shopee, you key in 10 units. Now with TikTok Shop, you key in 10 units. Now you have 40 units, which you don't really have. So when you sell one unit in the store, you need to log into all these places and deduct again.
999.
How many times you want to do it if you have 100 SKU? Or no, you are micro, probably 20 SKU. Every time you sell one unit, you have to go to log in all of this. Well, there are solutions to do this, but those solutions actually cater for mid to enterprise level. Yeah, they are too expensive for micro. I'm not saying that I'm gonna do a cheaper. do the exact same thing and sell it cheaply to all these micro sellers? No. I'm not gonna do that thing again. Yeah. They are so expensive. All these existing software are so expensive for a reason. They are really good. They are really good for enterprise. They have 360 software cover, including warehouse, logistic, everything covered. But you see, micro seller, they don't need all these things. They don't even have a warehouse. So I just need to string down like exactly, hey, you are a micro seller. I will only give you the 5 things you need at this price. They have 20 things. Yeah, that's why they are expensive. I only have this 5 thing, and this 5 thing is exactly unique. So I'm really go deep into, hey, I'm gonna come up with a solution that 100% fit within you. If you want to grow in the future, I will have more modules coming up in the future that you can plug in. But when you plug in more module, that's gonna be eventually as the same price as the thing. But you need to remember, okay? Today, you are a micro seller. My objective is help you sell better and hope that you will grow along with me and use my service more and more. Yeah. For those guys that already exist right now, yes, they have excellent software right now that can do a lot of things for you, but you need to be there first. Yeah. How long gonna take you to be there without an actual good software right now? It's gonna take you forever. Why don't I step in and take the initiative? Use my software now when you are small and it's affordable to you, is properly sized for you. Then use this, make your way there. One day, if you decide, hey, I'm an enterprise right now, I'm decide to use another software, I'm fine. You are out of my market scope already.
Yeah.
It's fair for you to use that. Like
Because they cater towards bigger entities.
Welcome to go
Yeah.
there, and probably I will do a migration function to over that system. I mean, I'm fine. Those people are in big game.
Yeah.
I try to help all this small micro one to reach there with a proper solution.
Yes. Great.
So that's where I actually going in.
Okay, great. Okay, we can talk for hours, but we have to shorten this. So, any closing remarks for people who are venturing into the entrepreneur world? Any new time founders or existing founders who are having hard time? Any word of advice for them?
Step out. Yeah. What I mean by step out is don't get tunnel vision, don't get tunnel into whatever problem you are facing right now. Sometimes, in a lot of time, you just need to step out and take a look at yourself and whatever you are working on. And are you doing the healthy thing or the right thing right now? Like, let's say, for example, if you are solving a problem, are you solving a correct problem? Or if your company is in deep shit right now, step it out. Ask yourself, why am I in this deep shit? Can I fix this or not? If can, how? If cannot, you gotta get out, bro.
Move on.
Move on. Salvage whatever you can. Like my case, can I make a break even using the salvage that I have?
Great. Okay, thanks a lot and wish you all the best for your new venture. And as I said, welcome back to the startup world and wish you all the success in the world. And I hope I never see you on this chair again.
Well, probably this channel will go bigger and you have something to talk about success.
Yes. So maybe once this podcast gets that bigger, we'll open the other one. Right?
Great.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for a call from Spotify. Once that happens.
Thanks for having me here as well.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.